What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. I hope you guys are freaking ready for today. We are finally getting the last issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. This will be issue number 5. If you have been living under a rock for the last 2 years, I highly recommend that you go check out the link in my description. I have a playlist set up that is going to get you caught up on everything going on with this series. This heart-wrenching, emotion-packed comic has taken us on a huge roller coaster. After countless delays, we are finally getting to the epic conclusion. Michelangelo being the last surviving turtle, he has returned to his city, and now he is ready to enact his revenge. To give honor to his family, to his brothers and father who have fallen in this battle. It is time to take down the Foot Clan once and for all. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, this is issue number 5. Baxter Stockman has been defeated. His robotic army that had been controlling everything, they are offline, living under a tyrannical rule of the Foot Clan. This city, the people, and the rebellion, they have an opportunity to fight back. Our story starts us off with Michelangelo, sitting in his room, staring at his father's diary. The spirit of his brothers are asking him what he is doing. What is the plan and what do we do next? These are all just manifestations of Mikey's mind. After years of solitude, all of the grief that he has been dealing with throughout this entire time, this was his coping mechanism. These are also voices that he doesn't want to hear anymore. The truth of the matter is he has heard these voices for so long, constantly telling him that he is not good enough, constantly letting him know that he needs to honor this family. And with him sitting down in this room, not taking this opportunity to make their attack, the truth is Mikey knows exactly what he needs to do. He is building up the courage to do what needs to be done, to end this war and bring it all to a close. To find Oroku, the grandson of Shredder, and make him answer for everything he has done to this family, telling the voices in his head that they need to stop. He has repeated himself so many times, and now he is really ready to let it all go. The ghosts of the past have been haunting him for such a very long time. With the end drawing near, he lets these ghosts know that they need to leave and never come back. As Mikey gears up, he writes one last thing down in the diary, and then he heads out. Meanwhile, up on street level, everything has broken out into pure chaos. The revolution has begun. As Casey Marie observes everybody's actions, they were really hoping that more people would pick up arms and join the fight. But what civilians are doing is looting. They are stealing, they're taking, they're destroying everything. As this mob mentality continues to spread through the streets, they try to enlist anybody and everybody that is willing to take up arms. If they didn't have enough problems, the power outage that took over the whole city, it is causing flooding all in the sewers, which means the Lair is in jeopardy. Casey Marie going to check on both April and Mikey. We are taken to Oroku, the grandson of Shredder. This guy is an absolute sociopath, believing himself to be a god. All of his men are failing around him and he can no longer get in contact with Stockman. This is the weakest that the Foot Clan has been in a very long time, no longer having all of the robotics to defend this tower. Oroku knows exactly what is coming for him. Down in the sewer systems, we have Casey Marie going and looking for her mother. Of course, April is down here and she is working on trying to fix this issue, to prevent the flooding from taking out everything. And this is when Casey asks the question on where is her sensei? Where is Michelangelo? Unbeknown to her, Mikey decided to leave without saying a word, not even saying anything to April. She only recognized he was gone after she went to get some help trying to figure out this whole flooding issue, and Casey Marie, in her anger, we see her punch right through this rock wall. Because you have to remember, April and Casey, when they conceived their child, they had been around the turtles for so long. This mutagen had affected her pregnancy. It made Casey Marie a very strong, a very powerful individual, much like the turtles themselves. And this is the first time that they're having a real conversation about it. This is something that April never wanted to bring up. She wanted to say it years ago, but she didn't want to say it at all. In her anger and rage at her mother, she lets her know that she is going to go find Mikey and help him bring this war to an end. That he is out there right now fighting for all of our families, and we need to be there for him because he is our family. Little does she know that he has already made his way to the tower. He has set explosives and he is working his way all the way to the top. These explosions, they may take away the element of surprise, but the truth of the matter, all of these Foot Clan soldiers, they are nothing more than flesh and bone. And after years of having stockmen really be the police, the enforcers, the Foot Clan soldiers have gotten lazy, they have gotten fat, and they are out of shape, which means when Michelangelo comes through, he leaves nothing but bodies in his wake. As Mikey gets close to the top of this tower, this is where he is met by a giant knight, defending the door, not allowing him in. We see Mikey go in, and he makes quick work of this dude, taking some heavy hits in the process. These are things to just slow him down, to weaken him up for the fight that is yet to come. As he defeats this titan, he makes his way into the next room, only to find some robotics that are not connected to Stockman. These are a last line of defense. Using an EMP to knock out all of these robotic crows, we see some old school robotics come into play. Mikey picking up the knight's sword, he takes it and drives it into the heart of this robotic gargoyle. As Michelangelo screams for him to come out, this is where we see Oroku coming out of the shadows. He is fully armored up and he is ready to go. Michelangelo swearing to him that this will be the night that he dies. Oroku punching through the capsule that is holding his mother, saying that he only kept her alive out of spite, to see what he would amount to. The room begins to catch fire, and we see the epic battle begin. As the two juggernauts are throwing punches at one another, Mikey quickly recognizes that his suit is something different. It's almost like liquid metal, believing that it's gotta be some kind of nanocarbonite, trying to use Oroku's own emotions against him, using his anger and rage to make him slip up. In the middle of their fight, there is a giant explosion from the tower. The two of them, they go flying out of the window, and even as they fall, Oroku is trying to do some kind of damage to him. As Mikey attempts to stay calm in this whole situation, they both fall from a great distance and they land on a giant water reserve. As the two of them get back to their feet, Michelangelo is looking for any kind of weakness, believing that this armor has to have a soft spot, recognizing that that fall it had done a little bit of damage, but this suit is self-repairing, so any puncture that is made is quickly sealed up. As Casey Marie is trying to make her way to Mikey, she quickly recognizes that she's not going to be able to do that. That the people, the civilians, this rebellion, they need her more than he does. This flooding is about to break through. April is still down there in the sewers trying to stop this. And so Michelangelo is on his own. There will be no backup, with Mikey doing everything he can to stay on his feet at this point, because that fall did a lot more damage than he believed. He is working at half speed right now, and he is just trying to counter everything that is being thrown at him. This is when he starts to have a little bit of doubt. He knows that he has to find that weak spot. He has to find any opportunity, because if they keep going like this, he is going to be dead in a matter of minutes. Using a small charge, he is able to break through this armor, just temporarily, so he can get a sigh into it. A little gift from Raphael. In the midst of this battle, this is where we see another explosion. The tower that reigned over this whole city, the Foot Clan's headquarters, it goes up in smokes. With a giant explosion, Oroku looks away just for a moment, and this gave Mikey the opportunity he needed, knocking him straight off this building. We bring it down to street level. driving a sword directly through his stomach, courtesy of Leonardo. Oroku's armor is busted, he looks defeated, even telling Michelangelo that he has won. Mikey going over and picking up a sewer grate, letting him know that there is no winning today. There is only the end. As Mikey goes to smash in his head, we see Oroku get up and he slices Mikey right across the stomach. As Oroku pulls out Leonardo's sword from his stomach, we see the armor, it quickly heals over this. Not only is it self-repairing, but it appears that it is also healing his wound, breaking Donnie's staff right over his head. This is where we bring it to home field. We go down into the sewers. Mikey just needs one opportunity to catch his breath, to patch up the wound on his stomach and make his attack. While this fight is transpiring, we have both April and Casey who are underwater. The entire system is about to collapse down on top of them. This water filling up this entire place. It needs to be let free or everyone is going to suffer. As Casey Marie is running out of air, April is able to open up this gate. All of the water is let out, and this water runs directly into Oroku and Michelangelo. It comes through the sewer system and it washes them out onto the outside. At this point, Mikey can barely stand up. His guts are leaking out. His head is just wrecked. He knows that he is not going to survive this. He knew from the very beginning this was a one-way ticket. This may be the place that he dies today, but the Foot Clan, Oroku, the heir of Shredder, he is taking him with him, letting him know that this will be his burial ground, right outside the city that he helped destroy. With a giant electrical surge coming out of the body of Oroku, a ginormous explosion, and then Oroku's body lays limp. And this is where Michelangelo, he falls to the ground. Losing a tremendous amount of blood, we have the arrival of Casey Marie, saying that this is not fair, that he cannot leave her. He is her sensei, and he has so much left to teach. Apologizing, but saying that this was his duty. This was his destiny for his family. And while you and your mother, they may be family as well, he hands over Splinter'S Journal. And he tells her that this will teach her everything that she needs to know. But there is one very important lesson, the very last one, and that is to know peace. As Michelangelo takes his last breath, that is the death of the Last Ronin. And we see Mikey wake up just like he did in the beginning, in the very first issue, with his brothers surrounding him, ready to go conquer the day. They head out into the sunset, and with them is Splinter and Casey. This was no dream. This is his heaven. This is his reward, living long enough to avenge his family. He now gets to bask in eternity with his brothers, his father, and that all good delicious pizza. And while this may close the book on our four brothers, there is still Casey Marie. Picking us up sometime later, she has been training away, wishing every day that Michelangelo was right here with her. But she's going to keep training. She is going to keep learning. As she heads over to her mother, going to the laboratory, they have been working on something new, having a little bit of the ooze, trying to understand this mutagen. Inside of a clear, observable bubble, we have 4 baby turtles, and Casey Marie cannot wait to teach them the world. And that will be the end of this series. So let me know what you guys think. That ending was absolutely phenomenal. Now it does say to be continued, and that very much excites me because I was hoping we were gonna get some kind of continuation. We can only assume with how huge of a hit this comic has been, we're gonna be getting some in-between stories later on. Because while 5 issues has been absolutely amazing, I feel like there is so much more here to tell. Like I said in the beginning, this has been a huge roller coaster of emotions. From wanting to cry at how much emotion they really put into this. How much you can feel Michelangelo suffering, the grief, the guilt that he has been building up for so many years. That survivor's guilt has really and truly ate at his very soul. One of my favorite parts of this entire series has been Casey Marie, paying great homage to her father, I love the twist of the mutagen really having effect on both April and Casey, especially during April's pregnancy. It's a very logical way to go with things. I also like that they pointed out that these turtles, they get stronger as they got older. If they do not make this into a TV show, if they don't make this into a movie, I have no faith left in humanity. Because this, more than anything else, this deserves it. It is bloody, it is brutal, it is emotional, it is loving, it is caring, it is everything that you need and want in a comic. My only complaint is that it has taken us almost 2 years to get 5 issues out. Multiple delays from issue to issue caused so many problems. But it also gave me an excuse to go back every single time a new issue came out and read the old ones, just to refresh my memory, get a quick recap on everything that has happened. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.